Morning folks, this is Kent with KJS Painting and Renovations, and today I'm going to give you 2 tips on how to paint like a pro. First, I'm going to tell you how to think about it, and then I'm going to show you the technique. This is what makes the difference between an amateur painter and then a painter that's painting like a pro, and you're going to paint about 4 times as fast doing this. Well, the first thing you do is you think about using your brush like a scoop, not just a brush. So here's the technique of doing that. So you take your brush, right? That brush is loaded big time. It's loaded up. So every time you go into the bucket, you're gonna load your brush. And then what you do is when you leave the bucket, you just take the brush and you twirl it to keep any paint from coming off. And then when you get to where you're gonna paint, you roll the brush like this to get the paint off of it, you know? And look at all this area we're covering, right? So you do that, kind of keep rolling. You can also see this technique here. Of course, I'm doing this one-handed. But when you do this, you can work an area in front of you. I'm working an area that's spreading out like a good 3 feet, and this is getting coated big time, right? And then every time you go, and it's hot outside, so we got to keep moving. So every time you go back to the bucket, same thing. Load that up, you know? Get it really loaded. And here's the twirl. And then you start a little bit away from where you were just painting on the dry area. And you just lay the paint on. And now you work back into where we just were, right? And just work fast. This might make you 5 times as fast as an amateur painter. Okay, so I think that's it. And if you look, that's almost 5 feet of painting in, a minute. And here's tip number 2. Every now and then, what you do is you get the brush going. I usually wipe on just one side of the bucket. And you take the brush and you wipe it off. You want to saturate it up close to the heel, but then you wipe it off because otherwise you get those paint boogers building up in the heel of the brush. And then they come off and they get into the finish. So if you just wipe the brush like this, that's tip number 2 to keep those paint boogers from getting built up. And if you do these 2 things, as well as using a tarp, so if you catch like there's a drip, one other tip is if there's a drip, you go ahead and you make sure that you spread it out so you don't track it around and it will just dry up quick. But those are the 2 tips. 1, using the brush like a scoop, and number 2, every now and then taking and scraping the brush clean on the edge to prevent those paint boogers from building up in the brush and then getting in the finish, especially when it's warm. And you're going to get a better finish painting this way. Well, this has been Kent with KJS Painting and Renovations with your 2 tips on how to paint like a pro and paint about 4 or 5 times as fast as you usually do. Thank you for watching my videos, and thank you for supporting me. I had someone last week just shot me some bucks. I think it was $20 on PayPal. They went to PayPal and just went to, they used my email, Kent.Schneeveis at gmail.com. They put that into PayPal and they gave me $20 because, I think I got her husband to get up and do the work that needed to be done. And so, yeah, if you got some bucks and you can throw a brother a couple of bucks, I would deeply appreciate that. And it kind of helps me keep going with this business. Business is tough, Every little bit helps. And yeah, thanks for the support.